Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I want to talk about a strange story that happened over the weekend in Indianapolis, Indiana. Shout out Indianapolis. And sorry about that. It's involving this man right here. This guy's name is Timothy Lisby. He's 59 years old. He was a father. This guy got into an argument with his son, 31-year-old Christopher Lisby, over dirty dishes. A wild fight ensued, and it resulted in Mr. Timothy stabbing his son, Christopher, in the heart. And he died the next day in the hospital. Now, I'm going to show you this video. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about a couple of things. I'm one of them people, I was raised old school. I was told no matter what, you ain't living here. You got to go out and explore life. You got to leave the nest, so on and so forth. This guy's 31 years old. I don't know what had him still in the house. And his best friend lived there too. But I mean, take a look at this story and we'll come back and talk about a couple of things. This is severely tragic.
An Indianapolis man is in jail accused of killing his own son inside their home near the city's near west side. CBS 4's Jesse Wells spoke to the main witness in the case, who explains what led to the violence.
According to court records, the deadly stabbing here inside this home started when a father and son began arguing about dirty dishes in the kitchen. A roommate who says he witnessed the killing wants the suspect held accountable for the senseless violence. Inside this mobile home on Friday afternoon, a father and son got into a fight and wrestled each other to the floor. A witness told police 59-year-old Timothy Lisby first tried to attack his own son with the handle of a spoon.
Tim had a spoon in his right hand, was stabbing Chris with it. Chris told me, Maya, get the spoon out of his hand, so I did.
Jeremiah Green claims the suspect then went back to the kitchen to get another weapon.
Tim went in the kitchen, grabbed something shiny, something sharp, went like that. Tossed it into Chris's chest as hard as he could.
Jeremiah quickly called 911, and 31-year-old Christopher Lisby was rushed to the hospital, where he died the next day.
Chris was my friend. I love him to death. I've never seen no one bleed that bad, and that really hurt me. So when he stabbed his heart, it's like stabbing mine.
According to this affidavit, Timothy Lisby tried to save his son's life and begged him to live before paramedics arrived. Unfortunately, the victim's heart had been lacerated.
He was putting pressure on Chris, saying, don't die, don't die. Since that day, I've been crying. I can't sleep.
Police arrested Timothy Lisby on an initial charge of aggravated battery, but Jeremiah believes the case was a murder and will testify against the suspect in court.
I'm gonna do whatever it takes to put him down. Killed the only friend I had in the world. I don't have nobody. And he's gonna pay for what he did.
Finally, ultimately, it will be up to the Marion County Prosecutor's Office to file formal charges in the case. Jesse Wells, CBS 4 News.
Guys, that's the story of the death of Christopher Lindsay at the hands of his father, Timothy Lindsay. And goes back to what I say, man. Shouldn't have grown people living with you. I mean, although the circumstances, sometimes there are exceptions. I'm not trying to bash for this situation, but I mean, it's hard for a man to live in a house by himself. But with another man, sometimes tempers flare over, especially when it's father and son. This guy, Timothy Lisby, most likely raised his son. And this is one of the things about living with your parents, or parents you having children in your house. You'll always parent them because the situation, the surroundings, everything is, normal, to where this is the house they was raised in. You're still going to be a parent. Nothing changed because they never left the house. Even though they're adults, you're still going to parent them. So this was a fight over the dishes. Christopher, 31 years old. Father, 59. I'm sure their conversations wasn't like normal conversations when somebody's getting talked to or disciplined or scolded. Sometimes people get tired of that. Even though Christopher is his son, he's still a man in the house. And that's the thing, man. You never know what's going on in somebody's head. and things they dealing with. I don't think any man wants to be in the house with his parents. Well, I mean, I got to rephrase that because nowadays a lot of people like staying with their parents, especially boys. I don't understand that. But somewhere down the line, this thing got out of hand where it got physical. They on the floor fighting. He beating the boy with a spoon. Chris ran him on the ground. I guess he must have got the best of him. They fight broke up. He come back with a knife out of sheer anger and embarrassment. Give it to him, DC style. You know what I'm saying? Hit him one time. Soon as the blood and stuff start pouring, like the best friend said, "Oh, don't die, don't die." In fits of anger, man, anything's bound to happen, especially in that snap moment where like you just be turned up. That's why I try not to have myself like that. I try to avoid that as best I can. I mean, that can happen to anybody, a fit of rage. You know, I mean, true power of somebody is being able to control their emotions. A lot of people don't have that gift. This is a tragedy. This guy killed his own kid. I know he feel like, oh, I'm gonna cuss, crap. But I mean, shouldn't even got to that position. Now, looking at the friend, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know. They look like they was poor folk. I mean, I'm looking at the place they was staying at, and first thing that hit me in my head is, you got two able-bodied men. Why that outside of that house look like that? But I mean, that's neither here nor there. You know, it's just thought process I had. But a fight over dishes, man. Come on. And I think that the fight was the boiling point. It's always going to be friction between males living in the house, whether they father, son, two roommates. I mean, hell, I learned my lesson. I had to fight one of my roommates one time for being disrespectful. But I mean, something like this, man. I don't know if the mother's still alive or not, but Mr. Lisby, I know he feeling crazy right now. Lost your son, lost your freedom, all because you was mad and you had to go get revenge and the beef was still cooking. That little spat y'all had wasn't enough. You had to go back and show who was the boss. And it cost you everything. Another thing before I get out of here, the best friend was living with him too. The fuck is that about? Maybe Mr. Lisby ain't want to be lonely or something. But I mean, either way, man, you got two grown men living in your house. I don't care if they kicking out money or not. Man, that's a recipe for disaster in my book. Best friends, and what did he say? I'm gonna testify right against him. I'm gonna tell everything. I lost my best friend. I did that. You and your best friend could have got your own spot if the father was the situation, and that should have been the situation. Sometimes you do have to go home, guys. You do got to go home. But when you stay home, that's a problem. You know, I went to prison. I had to get out, go home. Staying with my mom for 3 months killed me. But every day I was trying to plot my escape. You know what I'm saying? I got to have my own stuff, my own independence, my own life. It's not nobody else's problem to take care of me. But a lot of people out here now, with the way parenting is and the way they come up, man, they think it's normal and they're right to go stay with their moms, especially boys. And I think that's appalling. You know what I mean? You can go and look at many different news outlets right now where parents are getting their asses tore up by leaving children in their nest too long. Now, all situations are different. But I mean, one thing's for sure, men are dominant, whether it's their house or not. They get territorial, whether it's their house or not. Certain things, you're not going to be talking to them a certain way when they get a certain age. And that's why it's a recipe for disaster. I employ all parents to tell your children, you know what I'm saying, put them in a position or try to put them in a position where they have to go out and experience life. You know what I mean? There's a world outside of the yard of this house and just between these four walls or whatever. This is tragic. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. People, a lot of young people, man, got to go out and explore, man, for real. I mean, if you have to go home, use that as your last resort. But I mean, stuff like this will happen and continue to happen. The fact that it increased with the lack of parenting values we putting in the kids nowadays. And it's backfiring on parents. Whose fault is it? Nobody but theirs. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.